For the longest time, we were told that the brain you're born with is, well, the brain you're stuck with. The old thinking was that after a certain age, our brains were basically set in stone. Any damage? Permanent. Well, today we're going to completely shatter that old idea. Let's dive into the incredible truth about our resilient brains. This quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? The whole idea of just getting over an injury or trauma makes it sound like it's all about willpower. But what's really happening is so much deeper. Your brain isn't just coping. It's actively, physically, rebuilding itself from the inside out. It's a fantastic question, right? When the brain takes a serious hit, it doesn't just throw in the towel. Oh no, it launches this amazing, incredibly complex healing process. It literally starts to change its own structure to recover. So let's get a closer look at the biological machinery that makes all this possible. And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the brain's inherent superpower. And listen, this isn't science fiction. It's a fundamental property of our nervous system that scientists have been piecing together for decades. And it has a pretty cool name. Neuroplasticity. I know, it sounds a little complicated, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. Your brain is adaptable. It can physically change its own wiring based on experiences, learning, and, this is the crucial part, injury. It's not a static thing. It's this dynamic, living network that's constantly evolving. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. We've gone from this old, kind of depressing idea that damage is a life sentence to this new understanding that's all about hope and potential. The science is now showing us that the brain is a master problem solver that can find creative workarounds to get its job done. And this completely reframes how we think about resilience. It's not just about being tough or having a positive attitude. It's a physical, biological reality. It's a superpower that's literally hardwired into our neurons, just waiting to be activated. So, how does it actually do it? Okay, so we know the brain has this incredible superpower, but how does it work? Let's really get into the nuts and bolts of how our brain actually rewires itself to heal. It basically happens in 3 key stages. So first, an injury is like a massive roadblock on a highway you use every day. The normal routes are just gone. Then, the brain acts like a city planner in an emergency, creating all these new detours and side streets around the blockage. Finally, and this is so important, the more you use these new routes through things like therapy and practice, the stronger they get, eventually turning into brand new highways. Now, to do all this efficiently, the brain has its own maintenance team. Think of synaptic pruning as a gardener, carefully trimming away the dead branches so the healthy ones can really thrive. And at the same time in certain parts of the brain, you've got neurogenesis, the actual birth of new neurons. It's like planting new seeds for future growth. And this whole process is fueled by specific chemicals. BDNF is kind of like Miracle-Gro for your neurons, seriously. It encourages them to grow and connect. Meanwhile, you have serotonin helping to manage your mood. And that's absolutely vital because, let's be real, recovery is hard work, and keeping a stable emotional state really supports that entire rewiring process. So you can see it's this incredibly delicate dance. If you have too many stress hormones, like cortisol, floating around, it can actually get in the way of all this growth and repair. The goal is to create a chemical environment inside your brain that supports healing, one that creates a positive loop where the recovery itself feels rewarding, which encourages you to practice more, which then strengthens those new pathways even further. All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like when it happens to real people? Let's ground all this science in some really powerful real-world examples. This is where the theory just becomes breathtakingly real. Think about a stroke survivor struggling to say a single word. Every single sound they practice, every frustrating attempt, is actually forging a new neural pathway, a tiny detour around the damaged part of their brain, until one day, a word comes out. Or imagine someone recovering from a traumatic brain injury, where healthy parts of the brain literally learn to take over the jobs of the injured parts, helping them get back memories or motor skills. It's not magic. It is the brain's grit and determination written in biology. The brain's natural ability to heal is just astounding. So it's no surprise that the future of medicine is really focused on one big question: how can we help the brain do its job even better? Let's take a look at some of the innovations that are designed to supercharge this process. First up, brain-computer interfaces. And this isn't science fiction anymore, folks. We are creating a direct line of communication between the brain and an external device. It's how someone with paralysis can learn to control a prosthetic arm just by thinking about it, completely bypassing a damaged spinal cord. It's incredible.
Then there's stem cell therapy. Now, instead of just working around the damage, this revolutionary approach is trying to repair it directly. The idea is to introduce new, healthy cells that can actually replace the ones that were lost. It's like patching the hole in the road instead of just building a detour.
And finally, artificial intelligence is set to completely transform rehabilitation. Just imagine recovery programs that can adapt in real time to a patient's progress, creating perfectly customized exercises to make that brain rewiring process faster and more effective than we ever thought possible. Ultimately, whether it's through natural recovery or these incredible cutting-edge technologies, it all comes back to this one profound truth. The human brain is not this fragile, fixed thing. It is resilient, it's adaptable, and it has this incredible capacity for healing that we're really only just beginning to understand. So this leaves all of us with a really big question. As we keep unlocking the secrets of our own biology, what is this superpower going to mean for human potential, for medicine, for our very idea of what it means to be resilient? The possibilities are, well, they're extraordinary.